All right, all right, all right. Thank you for tuning in for the Shot Callers podcast coming up soon with Calvo and Yabui.
Check one, check one, check one, check one. What's going on? It's Yabui with the Shot Callers podcast. We're going to switch over to Mr. Calvo.
What's good, everyone? What's good? Thank you all for tuning in. Yes, we are back, you all, for our third episode.
Yep.
Y'all know how I feel about the number 3. Our third episode of the Shot Callers podcast with myself, Kalvo G, along with my co-host, Yabui.
Yabui, they waiting on who next.
Y'all, we are so excited to be back, man. We started this on a limb and we have been going strong. We thank you all for just tuning in with us. We have an exciting night tonight. I look forward to Thursdays and I hope you all too. Just so we can really talk about things that we truly care about, which is film. So on the Shot Callers podcast, as you all know, we call the shots on all things cinema, film, and more.
What?
And so, man, last week we had such a great conversation, centered around, really how we take ideas from just ideas really about like stuff we're interested in, whether it be like film, music videos, or whatever the concept is, and we break it down and we showed you all how we took it from idea to even just getting it to film for what you all see. But the conversation went a little long last time, but not long enough because because we are going to continue last week's conversation tonight. We have so much insight, and it's really, I think, a beauty in seeing like a concept coming to fruition into life, from just being written down on a sheet of paper to what you all see on screen. And so we'll be diving deeper into that tonight, along with an exclusive interview with our boy Amir.
Amir.
They not like us. They not like us.
So I was introduced to Amir last week, and you all will have the opportunity to see a pre-recorded interview between Amir, myself, and Yabui. So I bet you are wondering, who is Amir? So Amir is a professional dancer, choreographer based out. He's from Pensacola, but he is based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and he was in town last week for G Code, and he graced us with his presence. And when I tell you in the interview, you all, he dropped so many jewels, and he really brought in a new insight to how dance is in relation to film and music video and television. So we're excited to be able to share an exclusive snippet of that interview. The interview went kind of longer than our normal podcast. So outside of tonight's podcast, you all will be able to go to our Facebook page as well as on YouTube, be able to watch the full exclusive interview with Amir and learn more about how music and dance correlates to film. And so I'm gonna turn it over to Yabui real quick, and he'll be able to talk about more about the interview.
Yeah, the interview. First of all, met Amir. We've been rocking ever since he's been choreographing for PTED.
And for the people in the back, what is PTED?
Oh, PTED is a dance group based out of Pensacola. It's ran by Miss Natisha Rogers. So they were at G Code this weekend, performing at the Base Center, and man, they did a great job. Everybody did a great job at G Code. But first of all, meeting Amir, man, he gives me a whole bunch of inspiration. He's so artistic, when he does his choreography, and also he works on set. He's been working on movies in Atlanta in major films, but you'll see that in the exclusive interview. So we'll go ahead and click to that interview right now. All right.
But y'all stay tuned because we have more. Y'all stay tuned to after the interview because we have more to talk about. So, but here is the interview between the shot callers with Amir. Coming up because we have a special treat here. Each week we take a minute and we break down things, usually dealing with cinema and everything, but we have a special guest in the house tonight, and I'm excited for you all to join in on the conversation with us. I'm gonna turn it over to Yabui, and he is going to take it from there.
Hey, what's up? I'd like to introduce my friend from Atlanta. He just literally drove right in. Famous choreographer, actor on the set, all over Atlanta doing big things. My man, Amir.
What's up, everybody? What's up? How y'all doing?
We doing good. We doing good. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for coming out.
Of course.
So Amir, man, it's great to have you with us tonight. How do you feel?
Excited. One thing that I really pride myself on doing is bringing the knowledge that I've acquired back into my city. So when I saw the podcast, I jumped on it immediately because I feel that, the people that you all are connected to and the people that I'm connected to need to hear this side of the industry. If this is something that they really want to do, I would love to share the knowledge that I've attained and just share my experience and journey to inspire other people who are aspiring to be in this industry.
Yeah, no, we definitely appreciate that. So let me tell y'all. So I had in the last episode, we took a minute and we gave a gracious thank you to everyone who has been tuning in for the podcast. Amir happened to be one of those people, and so we when doing this with me and Yabui, we never know who we're reaching, and so to be able to reach someone at a magnitude that Amir is at is really outstanding, and we thank you for reaching out to us and even taking a minute of your time coming on to just talk with us today. So tell us about yourself, man. We know who you are, but tell the people who you are.
So I'm Amir. I have been in Atlanta. I'm originally from Pensacola, Florida, but I've been in Atlanta now for 13 years. And I danced professionally for about 10 years. And I've done TV shows, award shows, movies, you name it. I've been in it. I've worked with almost all my dream artists that I wanted to work for, from Missy on down. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm super, just thrilled to just share what I've learned. So yeah.
He said that so humbly. I've danced with everybody, from Missy on
Missy,
down.
what?
Can you go even? Can you go even higher than Missy Elliott, man?
Listen.
Erica Badu, what?
Wow.
BET
That was my first
Music
job.
Awards?
Yeah, so my very first job was the Soul Train Awards
Oh, Soul Train.
in 2015 with Erica Badu. And the crazy part is, and I'm gonna start the podcast off with just really emphasizing words are powerful.
Mhm.
The words you speak over yourself are powerful. I remember, so fun fact, rewind. So my stepdad used to drive Erica Badu her tour bus
Wow.
before. So when I was like younger, so he was her tour bus driver. And I remember telling him, like, tell her I'm gonna dance for her. I was still living in Pensacola, didn't know nothing about the industry, didn't know anything. And fast forward to the day of the performance, I turned to her and I'm like, hey, you know Big T? And she was like, yeah, the one that drive tour buses, right? I was like, yeah, that's my stepdad. I was like, I told you one day I would dance for you. And she remembered. And we just like hugged each other and like screamed. And she was like, oh my God, I remember that. I remember that conversation. And it was just amazing. So I'm saying that to say the words that you speak over yourself are just extremely important. The things that you believe about yourself are extremely important. And also, if I can give anybody any advice just right now off the top of my brain, is even if you don't know how, still believe. Like, believing in yourself, believing in your craft, believing in your talent is super important. Even if you don't see anybody else doing it, like, it's super important to just envision yourself in that space. If you're creative, if you're a director, if you're a movie artist, if you are a singer, if you're not putting yourself in that mindset, even when you get in those rooms, you will not show up. You will not perform. Because Missy told me one thing, and I'm sorry to jump around.
You're good.
Name
drop, bro.
She said, I don't want dancers dancing behind me. I want stars. A star knows who they are. Most people don't know. When I performed for Missy at the VMAs, when she received her Vanguard Award, her Michael Jackson Vanguard Award, I had been auditioning for her for 2 years before that. She would, because she saw something in me, she would bring me in just to learn from the rehearsal. I never got the jobs. She would bring me in so I could learn the whole set to say, next time, next time, next time. And I was like, damn, when is it gonna be my time? Like, when I'm gonna do it. And then one time, it was the time. And she was like, this is your time. And so I appreciate her for that, because again, like, most people want that accolade. They want to be seen. I was just a student wanting to absorb that energy, absorb her energy, and learn as much as I can about being on set. Learning, like, one of the beautiful things that we did for that VMAs is we had to perform in front of this like screen. So if you go back and watch the video, we're doing lose control, the routine to lose control behind like this CGI screen. And so if you go back and watch it, it looks like hundreds of dancers are doing it, but it's really just us. It's really just us. They just filmed us the day before and put us in there and made it look like it was like a whole bunch of dancers. And then we had literally 34 seconds to change clothes during this. I'm jumping all around, but long story short,
Oh no, this is great stuff.
Missy is amazing. I love her. She a Cancer like me. I love her.
No, so first let's just say message. No, because what you just gave not only myself and Yabui, but you gave the people a word. Like, even for myself, I do a lot of film, I do a lot of directing. Like, I believe, and someone kind of similar on a similar note told me that like you have to see yourself in the places that you want to go. And that is what you basically just said. And like people, there is power in words, like Amir just said. And people are kind of skeptical when they hear the word manifest or manifestation, but like it is what you put out is what you receive, and how you see yourself is who you become. And so, no, thank you for sharing that for sure.
Of course. And what you think about yourself is what you give off. When I walk into a room and I'm telling y'all, it's a different me. When I go into that rehearsal, I'm already on stage. When I walk on that set, I'm already on. I can see it. Like, I did a TV show called Star on Fox. You know about it?
Yeah.
So I was on season 1 to season 3. So I got to work that whole season.
That's amazing.
So the beautiful part about that is like each episode was something different. Like one time we on stage, the next time we doing a music video on. It's like we're filming a music video, but we're on the TV show. So it was just the dynamics was crazy, and we were in rehearsal, and they're like, "You don't know where the camera is because it's completely pitch black." So we're dancing. We don't know where the camera is because they didn't really block it with us because they do camera blockings, but you don't know which one is on you at the moment. And so we ended up doing this episode, and it was so freaking dope. If you look on YouTube, it's called For Sure. It's a Star on Fox episode called For Sure. And that's one of my favorite performances that I did with. And I get to, that's Lee Daniels, and I got to work with Sean Bankhead, and I got to work with so many different choreographers who are huge in the industry. I remember. I'm sorry for taking over, y'all.
Oh no,
this
is
love it.
all great stuff.
Before
shout
I moved,
out to Sean Bankhead.
Shout out to Sean. That's my brother. Like, that's my brother for real. Before I left Pensacola, when I first moved, I wrote down a list of choreographers that I wanted to work with.
Yes,
And
write it down, peeps.
I was like writing it down. I want to work with Cody Wiggins, Brian Underwood, Sean Bankhead, Aja. I want to work with Buck. I want to work with all these people. And I literally named it before they even knew me. Everybody I wrote down became family. Everybody. I was so determined. And one of the things that I want to give y'all to is if you're aspiring anything, never look to your left and right. Look at the person who's doing the thing that you're aspiring to do. Do not get caught up in, oh, this person just dropped a video and it's fire. I don't give a damn what Timmy Bob then did this week. I will be in actively be in an audition and not really care who's around me. That's not my problem. The choreographer is my focus. The director, if he's giving notes, I'm taking it, right? The director is like, okay, in this, I want y'all to feel sad. I want y'all to really feel, and I'm emoting. I'm learning how to be on set and absorb not only what the choreographer is saying, but what the scene is calling for, right? So that is super important. Not only taking direction from the choreographer, but from the directors, from the people on set. Like, oh yeah. Anyways, yeah. I will go on and on and
Oh
on,
no,
but yeah.
this is all good stuff. All right, you all. So what you just saw was a snippet of the interview with professional, profound choreographer and dancer Amir. So we will be releasing the full interview on our YouTube channel as well as on our Facebook page. So y'all be sure to tap back in because as you just saw, he shared a lot of gems and he has had some great and grand opportunities working with industry's finest. And he goes into more details about working on different performances, the sets, working with directors, working on the color purple film, as well as countless others and just a lot of insight. So y'all be sure to outside of our podcast, tap back into our Facebook page, our YouTube channel to watch that exclusive interview. However, we are going to now continue with tonight's podcast where we will wait. First, let me just say something real quick. Did y'all see how good that interview looked? Let's give some for the interview. And let's get something for our technical director and my co-host Yabui. Because y'all, behind the scenes, Yabui does a lot. Even here now with the lighting and how he just is able to capture us and frame us so well. Which now leads me into transitioning to our segment, the Tech Talk, where we break down some of the equipment we use that you can also purchase and use for your upcoming events or podcasts or films or whatever project cinematically you are trying to capture. So here is your buoy.
What's going on, you guys? We're gonna look at the studio real quick. Don't mind the mess, because I've been shooting for G Code and these movies, and just this is how my desk looks all the time. So I try to clean it for my clients, but we're gonna go ahead and pull off this camera here so I can give you guys a look. First of all, we're running two cameras. We're running the Sony A7 IV with this little orange cable connected directly into my MacBook. Then let me switch cameras real quick. Boom. Here we go. Now I'm holding the camera. So second camera, it's an Osmo Pocket 3, 4K, 60 FPS, 10-bit camera with a built-in gimbal. Also could be a webcam. If you're starting out in creating content, Osmo Pocket 3 is the way to go. I can actually match up the video taken from this camera with any of my cameras I use for movies or music videos. Okay, most important thing is lighting. So we have two Nanlite 30Cs up here lighting us from the top, so it makes Kalvo look nice and crispy. Boom. All right. Next, we have probably the best part of this podcast is the Rodecaster Pro 2. And basically, with this thing, it takes care of all the sound that we bring in here. So these little pod mics here, 1, 2 pod mic right there. It takes that sound and it compresses it and makes it sound crispy like it does. You can put little sounds on here.
They not like us. They not like us.
Hey. Also, if we did get into trouble with these cameras, we can actually wirelessly hook up my little iPhone here. It's always buzzing. My wife's the one that's always calling me. And
shout out to everybody.
Oh yeah, you know what? We can't forget about the gaffing equipment. So if we look at these things here, we definitely need these little mic stands and the little C stand with the boom arm back there. You cannot hold any gear up without those things. So a little C stand holding up our light, and that's about it.
All right, so that is part of our tech talk with Yabui. Y'all, Yabui goes above and beyond to make us look and sound great in the studio, and so we are very gracious to him. Also, while we're Yabui's setting us up, I'm going to the comments real quick. Quinita Rashawn said, "PTED, woo woo, Amir Renzo." So Quinita, I learned a lot about you from the interview with Amir, and he really gave you your flowers and praise. And so, definitely be sure to tune in to the exclusive interview with Amir. I don't know if I know you, but you are, from what I have gathered, an incredible person, and I can't wait to hopefully meet you one day myself.
I didn't know you was in a rap group. He said you was everything. You guys were like the best rap group back in the day, back in the Roy Jones days.
He took it back there, so he turned a lot of good stories about a lot of people locally. But like I said, he gave people flowers who really was instrumental to his career, and so yeah, you definitely got to check that in out. Natisha Rogers, she said, "Love you." Thank you. I'm sure that was for Amir or Yabui. Thanks for tuning in with us, Natisha. Gene said, "Amen." Yeah, it was a lot of jewels that were dropped along the course of the interview so far. Yabui is the best. He is. Brian Freeman entered the chat. He said, "The goat."
Yeah, that's the president of Lamplighters. Like
Yeah.
the guy that set all the G code. I mean, he has a great team with him, but he's like the guy in charge.
Put yourself on camera, Yabui. Give him
Oh, my bad.
flowers.
Yeah, shout out to Brian Freeman for G Code 25. Great event, thousands of people, lots of money raised to help the kids out here. Shout out to Miss Natisha Rogers, the leader of PTD, along with Juanita. And shout out to everyone that's on the comments. Go ahead and drop comments and drop some hearts for us.
Yes, Brian, you all did a excellent job with G Code this year. I had the pleasure of coming out and attending. I brought my nephew for the first time, and
I didn't know you were out there.
yeah, I was in the crowd, man.
Really?
I was.
Why
I
didn't you come
snuck in.
shout out?
I snuck in. You know, I was a little incognito, so yeah, I tipped in and I stayed and enjoyed the whole show, and so it was great. Great turnout, great event every year. I'm so glad that you all continue to do it, and I know that a lot of hard work and effort goes into it, you all, and it just shows and gets better and better. So thank y'all for doing that.
Oh, one more thing. Shout out to my wife. She's in the comments. I will leave an itemized list of the equipment that I just talked about. I love you, baby. Thanks for letting me do this with Calvo. All right, back to Calvo.
Brian always also said, "Ibu, you are the visual guru behind G Code."
Oh, yeah. Recap coming soon. G Code 25, Lamplighter recap coming soon.
Yeah. So, continuing on with the podcast, y'all. So, this past week, right, on Facebook, one of my Facebook followers posed a question on her Facebook page that really caught my interest, right? And so, I don't really know what she said, but verbatim. But what she said basically was like, what is the difference between film and a movie, right? And she was leading into basically saying that like a lot of people she knows, she works in the industry, she's an actress. A lot of people that she knows in the film industry or like entertainment industry as well, like they refer to movies as film. But she's like, I never have had a conversation where I met someone not in the industry call it a film. And she's like, they always call it a movie. And
Mm-hmm.
so basically what she was asking was like, what's the difference between a film and a movie? Do you know?
No, I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, all the movies that were or created before were all shot on film. So that's why think it's called a film. Then a movie is just anything that's in a theater that's played. But I'm sure you did your research and can tell us the differences.
Actually, I didn't, Yabui. I'm just talking. No research. No, I really did look it up. Um, but so what I was able to find Cause I was it piqued my interest, so I looked it up, right? So basically, what it was saying is that a film is, hold on, let me go back to it. Basically, a film is a motion picture, but there's more to it. Technically, film is anything that represents, like, film is considered like a piece of art, right? So, like, a film could be a short film, a feature length movie, uh, a art film, a promo video, or anything. So, like, film is like a generic word for everything that is
Oh,
dealing
okay.
with like visual art on screen. Where a motion picture, I mean, a movie is more so tailored to like motion pictures, generally like in the industry. So like a movie is what we would consider like box office hit. So like when we watch full out feature length movies, they're just movies, and the film could be like anything outside of that. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Are y'all following me in the comments?
So it's the other way around than what I thought. So is all encompassing.
Yeah.
Film is all encompassing, and then a movie is just the big hits that's produced by the big, I guess, movie companies in Hollywood, right?
Yeah, so from what I gathered, that's what it seems like. Yeah, like film is like anything like a concept of art, right? So like anything from a short film, a poem, video, anything that's like art, visual art, right? Where a movie is more like anything that's like of a long concept that we watch on TV or something, like or in the theaters.
So we're doing these podcasts and these vlogs, and people post content on YouTube. So that'll be considered
Like a
a
film,
film.
yeah, that would be considered a film. But like a movie would be like if we going to like streaming and watching like a full out thing, or like in the movie theater. That's probably why they don't call it a film theater, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We have to go and rewrite the definitions here, bro, because there's
I,
just so
I,
much different uh forms of content out there,
all right, so we got
So
some people in the comments, right? So I want y'all to put in the comments. Do y'all like, so when y'all talk about a movie or a film, do y'all say film or do y'all say movie? Let me look at the camera and say it. So do y'all say film or do y'all say movie? I know with myself, I use them like interchangeably. Like I'll be like, y'all, have you seen this film coming out, or have you seen this movie coming out? Like for instance, uh, good segue. I talk about Jonathan Majors, right? Because
yes,
I'm a fan of him. Uh, however, this past week, did you see what happened with him this past week?
no, it did not.
So this past week, he's been doing a lot of press of everything for his new movie coming out, or film that's coming out, called Magazine Dreams, right? Where he plays, like we talked about it, this bodybuilder that's coming, like he's like an intense bodybuilder that's trying to get to number one, and a whole bunch of chaos and stuff unfolds, right? But this past week, like a recording from the incident that he was involved with, the domestic abuse incident, came out and resurfaced, right? From what I gathered though, he may be or may not be admitting some things. That's just, from the listener of the recording to, yeah, so we have it right here, kind of showing up. Yeah, a magazine dreams. To take. However, I feel I have my personal reasons and opinions on it, but uh, talking about film or movie, I would consider this a film. Usually for me, when I mention film and movies, like if a movie looks artsy, if that makes sense. Like if it looks like very just like poetic or anything, I refer to it as a film. But if it's like just like a regular movie, I call it a movie. So Magazine Dreams, if y'all seen the trailer for it, it looks just like you could just tell the difference. Where it just looks like it's just gonna have like a poetic type feel to it from just the way it's filmed, or the cinematography, like deep hues and colors and stuff. Um, it looks like it's gonna be a good film, but like a movie would just be like a movie.
Okay, so here's we're talking about things that you do. You have the preparation, you have the storyboarding, you have the shot list, everything that you do.
Yeah.
I don't do it, so I don't know if you can call myself. Well, the rest of the team does all that, and then I just go in there and shoot it. But everything that you do, as far as the pre-planning, the shooting, to editing, the scoring, that becomes a film. But everything else would be just content, visual content, or a movie.
You know, I think movies have all of that too, right? I
Yeah.
just think that is how it is made. So, looking at the comments right here, we have all right. So thanks, Phil, for tuning in, and thanks for following me. And Quinita, thanks for learning. Uh, so Phil also said that he uses them interchangeably. Marcus says that he refers to everything as a movie. Thanks for tuning in, Marcus. Quinita, she brought up a good point here. She says, I always thought films were more personal and movies were more entertaining. And so I definitely agree with you when you say that, Quinita. Cause like I think films are more personal, which I think like stuff that for me, when I'm looking at stuff, things that have a more personal feel to it also have more of a like in the realm artsy type. Like
Okay.
they're they're filmed differently where it's like different camera angles. Like I said, the light, just like the way the story unfolds is just different from like a movie. All right, so let me give you some examples, right?
Okay.
So let me think. All right, so have you seen Moonlight? Have you seen the movie Moonlight?
I'm sorry. I know.
I know a lot. You know, it's people who have what. So Moonlight is made was a film to me because it was just like it was a personal story, but it was told like in a more artsy fine type of way. And there is a genre called art house films, and we'll break that down later on. But like a movie would probably be, you know, One of Those Days. Have you that just came out, or Friday, or like any action movie, Denzel movie is like a movie to me. Uh any movie, you know, yeah. What would y'all consider a
So
movie?
you wouldn't say Man on Fire? That was a film.
That was You think that was a film?
Yeah, that was a
I would say
group.
it was a great movie, but I feel like it was a movie to me.
That was a film. Also, Training Day. He won an Oscar for that.
Training Day is different. So it may be a it's on the line.
John Q.
John,
Man, if you don't cry in that movie and get the feels in that movie,
you know,
I mean that film.
it is. See, look, yeah, you called it what it was. Hold on, let's see. I do agree. Film equals more artsy. Movies are more entertainment. Yes. Phil said, and here I was about to say Moonlight was a good movie. Haha. You know, so I think what we're coming down to, right, is interpretation. But I'm still go with what I think and say that like I do agree with the people in the comments that films are more like personal, artsy, uh and movies are more entertaining. So you just argued that like John Q Man on Fire is a film, right? So what would you say is a movie?
Avengers movie.
Avengers is personal.
All movies are personal. Avengers. Anything for Disney. Snow White movie.
Oh, so speaking of Snow White, right? Um, can we just get one for Snow White? Have you been following? I don't know if you've been following it, but that has also been in entertainment news. Snow White. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta tell y'all this funny story. So y'all know Snow White trailer be coming on TV, right? And I think for myself, along with a lot of others, I forgot that Wilson, Why You Twerk is from Snow White.
Oh yeah, it is.
You know,
Okay.
like bum 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 bum. So the first time I saw the trailer come on, I was I was like, what am I missing? But then I realized, oh shoot, like they sampled Snow White for it. But back to Snow White, man. It's so much controversy going around on that film. I saw the trailer for it on TV and stuff. Hold on. I was about to say, all right. It's so much controversy going on with the film, which brings up a good point because it's something that Disney has faced before. So, one, let me just say, I feel like people are always mad, right? People just be mad about other stuff. Like my personal sentiments on everything currently dealing with life and society is that like people I understand where people come from, but I feel like people are over emotional about things that don't really to- need to be. With that said, people are upset with Snow White that the actress is a Latino, and
Oh, these are fiction stories, you know? So whatever you want to interpret it into, I mean, just like the Bible, whatever you want to interpret it into, you can. You know, it's a movie. It's their own perspective, their own lens on these movies. So just do whatever you want. You're creative. You're the one putting all the money out, trying to make these movies and trying to sell it to the masses. You know, so just do whatever you want with your money. If you want to make a movie that's more in the traditional sense of Snow White, then go in and do it. Spend your money and do it. Go in and buy the rights to Snow White and make that movie in your lens.
yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. But I feel like, in the same sense, people are one. I mean, Snow, like, yeah, like it's a fictional character. Like, we might have seen it, one way, but that's not exactly like who the character is tailored to. Um, I'm not gonna say the comment that I was just thinking because it was terrible. However, uh, I feel like they did the same thing with Haley Bailey, Halle Bailey, the girl who played the Little Mermaid. They were upset because she was black, and
What's
I'm
wrong with
like,
that?
nothing
Nothing
was wrong
wrong.
with that.
That's
I actually saw that movie and it was great. She did justice for Ariel, and so now people are upset with this new. Her name is Rachel. Y'all don't quote me on that. Her first name's Rachel. But the new girl playing Snow White, that she's a Latina, and also people are causing up controversy around it because the dwarfs, the little people,
yep,
uh,
little people.
aren't actually played by little people. They're CGI'd, which I mean, come on, people. Like they could, I understand. I feel like it is equal opportunity, and they probably could have easily found seven drawers to play the role. Um,
They need jobs too, bro.
they
Everybody needs
do, they
jobs.
do. So Ray Quinn came in the conversation. He said people are overly sensitive unless it's geared towards a specific culture, then they can bend and add characters. Um, which I do agree. But and then like what you said too, it's a it's a two-way street, y'all. Because I mean, they could have easily found drawers to play. I feel like I'd be saying that word so bad. People to play those roles because they are always looking for equal opportunity for people of different backgrounds and cultures. However, like it's an animated movie.
Exactly. Unless it's based on a true story, like I don't know, Schindler's List or is that 1812? Anything like that. You should really use the people that were involved in that historic time. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty open game.
Yes, and so I just feel like so let's kind of like talk about that for a minute. How do you feel about like even like actors portraying roles or even on the sense of gender or race switching in roles? Uh because that happens a lot now. We have a female equalizer, which is not the same as the Denzel equalizer, but we have a female equalizer. I see Phil put in the comments that they're coming out with a new Harry Potter series, and Harry Potter series for what it is such a popular series, and they have a black. Are you into Harry Potter?
I've watched it. My wife is, if she's still online, but
Yeah, so they have a black Professor Snape coming up, which is like uh, a very profound character within the Harry Potter series, and the character in the book and on the movie, well, he is a a white man, Caucasian male with long dark brown black hair and very mysterious. But for the new series coming out, they have a black man portraying him, and his name is, don't let me screw this up. Is it Papa Ezadu? I probably said his name wrong, but Phil put it in the comments, and it brings up a good question. Like, how do you like? What are your how do you feel about that? About casting actors in roles that aren't true to the story, or uh, yeah, that aren't true to the story, or are outside of what the actor is compared to the character.
For those movies, if the movie describes that person in that certain ethnicity, I think they should use the same ethnicity, because for them to go into those deep feelings to become that character, become that ethnicity, then you can only be that same ethnicity.
Come
But
on.
if it's just an open character, then it could be anybody. But as far as the whole racial and gender thing, I think it should really stick to what's been described in the movie, or it's been set out first in the movie.
Yeah, I get it. But I also like I see how people are like the times are changing, right? So back in the day, cinema really resolved or revolved around predominantly white Caucasian actors, right? So now stories are and society is becoming more diverse. That like, yeah, you want to just like people want to see themselves on screen, which like I go back to Haley Bailey being the black female mermaid.
Yeah, that's fine though, because that's a fictional
Oh,
character.
so you're talking about like
I'm
in
talking about if. Go ahead.
no like
Uh,
true.
yeah, if there's supposed to be a character like Bruce Lee used to go to movies, and like back in the day when they used to have a Chinese guy in the movies, they used to have a white guy and make his eyes slanted, and they would just make fun of it and poke fun at him.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna use an ethnic character, you should use an ethnic actor.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I agree with you. I think that makes sense. From what you like, yeah, with what you're saying, I think that makes sense. Like if it is like stay true to the character, if the character, so basically what you're saying is like stay true to the character, if the character has already been like written out, like fleshed out.
Exactly.
Okay, I was just making sure that I was following you.
But if it's like a parody, what was that movie with not Clooney, the guy that plays Iron Man,
Tony Stark.
not Tony Stark, the actual actor. I can't. We're getting old, bro.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. He played in that movie.
I said Tony Stark like that was
where
his
he was.
real name.
He was in that movie where he was playing a black guy.
Oh,
He was a white guy
yeah,
playing a black guy.
I know exactly what
Ben
you're talking.
Stiller.
Yeah, they had
So if it's like a parody and it's more like comedy, then that's kind of open. So with comedy, I'm pretty open to anything you want to do. But if it's more of a serious film where this one's person described in the ethnicity, that person should play that ethnic role.
I get that. Yeah.
Like in Schindler's List, okay? You have all the Jews there. You
Mhm.
can't have Germans playing Jews. That would just be crazy.
No, that makes perfect sense. That makes Tropic Thunder. That's what it was
Yeah,
called.
there you go.
Yeah.
Love that movie. You couldn't really make that movie right now. Everybody get canceled, but
So Ray Quinn said, if it's not culturally sensitive, then why not switch up the character?
exactly. Yes, I agree with that.
Because I feel like yeah, why not? Like it's I feel like it's two different conversations all in the same realm that we're kind of like discovering right now. Um But no, like I definitely agree. So with that being said, right, I'm gonna ask you a question, Yabui. If you were to remake a movie and either change a character in the movie or change like the race of the movie, what movie would it be?
Hmm.
I wish I could see his face right now. He's thanking y'all. Put the camera on you.
No, go ahead. You say yours first. Now
Oh
let me
no,
think about that.
no. Mm-mm. If you could switch we're gonna pose the question to the audience too. So if there was one movie that you could change, that if like a movie that you like or a movie that you just can think of that you would change either like the race of the movie or a character in the movie to a different race or a different gender, what movie would it be? The thinking
No,
cap. Do,
I would like
do,
for them to
do,
just switch it
do.
up, just see what people think about it. Like I said, John Q.
Mhm.
If you were to switch him to like a white guy, how would people think about that movie? It was John Smith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, who would play that role? I think that would be pretty interesting to see. Like I would still watch it because John Q is just a good movie all around. And I definitely could see like another uh person of a different race playing that role as well. But it'll be uh hard to top Denzel because Denzel is one of the greatest. Let's see what we have. All right, so Phil said, I know at least in the theater world, we swap it up all the time. If someone fits the role more, regardless of gender or ethnicity, as long as it stays true to the character, which is great. And I think that's amazing. And when you said that, it makes me think about Wicked because, they just changed Cynthia Revo to a black, Wicked Witch. And so people were upset about that. But, like, it yeah, it didn't change the character, and it added a little bit more substance to the character, from what I can gather. But yeah, and then Quinita said, "The Little Princess." It's an old movie. Yeah, I don't know nothing about the Little Princess. I have to look that one up. You know that movie, Yabui?
Is that the one that takes place in New Orleans
Wait, The Princess
with
and the
the
Frog?
frog?
No, that's Princess and the
Oh,
Frog.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
The
don't
Little
know.
Princess. I have to look that one up. Thanks for sharing that, Quinita. And she also said Hitch. I think Hitch would be good too.
Yeah, player would be white, and then like Urkel could be like the guy who's trying to help. I mean, that would be a great dynamic.
Yeah, it would be. Marcus put that she was green in reference to me talking about Cynthia Revo. That's pretty funny. So for me, one movie that I wish, and I'm still waiting for them to do it. Like, so I love James Bond, man. And for years they've been talking about making a black James Bond. I'm still waiting for them to do it. For the longest I was rooting for and I still kind of am rooting for Idris Elba to be a black James Bond, but now it's so many newcomers that could really like step into that role. I know like rumors going around about Damson Idris who
Mm.
did Snowfall possibly stepping into the role of Bond as well as some
Oh, that'd be
others.
dope.
Yeah.
That'd be really dope.
And I think like it would be cool to just see like a black James Bond because
See,
why
that's
not,
someone.
right?
There are black British people, so that'd be a great one. That'd be
Speaking
great.
of black British people, y'all, can we get some more American actors? Because all of my not all of them, but like when we look at actors, I'm not trying to segue from the topic that we're on, but it's some really great British actors that play in American roles.
But they do a great job.
They do a
What's his name?
great job.
Say his name.
Daniel Kaluuya,
Oh my
he
gosh,
is so good.
he played Get Out.
Yeah,
Was it Fred Hampton?
he did. He did. Yeah.
Oh my
Oh
god,
man.
He did such a great job in that
The
movie.
last no, the Black Messiah. What was it called? Judas and the Black Messiah. That's the name of the movie. Judas and the Black Messiah, where he played Fred Hampton.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so good. All right, I was looking back at the comments. I didn't know everybody else put in. But yeah, so definitely I think that would be oh Jojo, is this your
Shout out
brother?
to my brother JoJo.
So Jojo, in the conversation that we're having right now, we were just shout out to you too for being your booey's brother, man. I've heard some great things about you. I don't know if I met you yet, but shout out to you. But no, we were just asking if you could make a movie or name a movie, and change either the race of the movie or a gender in the movie, what movie would it be?
See,
Okay, so
she watches
Brandy
Harry Potter.
Brandy put up culture plays a huge role in casting. I agree with that. For example, Harry Potter is a story that took place in England. There were references to British customs that an American wouldn't understand. That is possibly true. Have you heard of movie treacle tart? It's a treacle tart. It's a British pudding referenced in horror Harry Potter, not horror Potter, Harry Potter several times. A British person. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm struggling reading. A British person can bring eating British pudding to life better than the American eating British pudding. That's true because I've never had British pudding. I don't know. There are certain things with certain roles that I wouldn't swap out. And I think that is like key to kind of what Yabui was saying too. Like if it and what some of the other people in the comment section were saying too, like keeping characters true to like the nature of the character. So I definitely agree with that. Uh Jojo said, I'm the lucky one. Sean is the best brother and the truest out there.
They not like us. They not like us.
It's a lot of family love in the chat, y'all, right now. I love it here. Um, but yeah, so thank y'all for joining in on that conversation with us. We are going to keep it moving though. So last week, right, uh me and Yabui kind of went back and forth and we shared some insight onto how we basically come from an idea and make it into something. And interesting enough, I found I always like talking to people to figure out like where their mindset is and how they come up with things. Me and Yabui soon realized that there are different ways. Well, I mean, we already knew, but there are always different ways, and there's no right or wrong way to come up with a concept and bringing it to life. Me, man, I plan and write and do everything as is. Like I have a whole just we talked about mood boards, the storyboards, to like script and everything. However, Yabui on the flip side, he is just a mind genius. He just has it all locked inside, and he kind of does it off the dome. You want to talk about that real quick, Yabui? Just give us a good recap.
Yeah, basically the directors they bring the script, and then I really don't make a decision till I get to the location. When I get to the location, that's when I can set the framing, the lighting, and the tone of how I want to shoot the movie. So, I mean, that's basically from shooting so many music videos because music videos, we work with these artists. Ooh, they don't have. Sometimes they don't have any idea or concept, and you just have to wait for whoever to show up, what location you pick at the last minute, and then go from there. So that's where I kind of get my experience from is just figuring it on the whim. You know, like working with PTED. They just brought some girls over here. We made some visuals and it came out dope for the show. So shout out to PTED and TTS as well.
Yeah, I like y'all. It is hard for me to just do stuff without a plan. However, I feel like in filmmaking, hold on, let's put a pin in it real quick. Till jumped into the conversation and he was talking about the topic we were just talking about, and he brought up a good point. Mr. and Mrs. Smith remake. If y'all haven't seen it on Amazon Prime, with Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. It is a great remake. And so going back to Till's comment, he said that Mr. and Mrs. Smith remake on Amazon Prime, they have proven a switch can work and be
Yes,
very strong.
that was a great movie.
It was.
That's one of oh man. I watched the first episode. I watched the whole thing.
Oh
Finished
man,
the whole thing.
it
I
was.
love that movie. Donald Glover is amazing. from Atlanta to all to his. Wait, one second. From Atlanta to all his music, he's just such a creative. He's a Renaissance man. He's the Renaissance man that I want to be. He does so many things. I mean, I can't sing or anything. Maybe I could rap and spit some bars or something, but yeah. Donald Glover, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, that was a great. You guys need to go watch that. I highly recommend it. Just the way they shot it, the way they developed all the characters, and then left you at a cliffhanger at the end. Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, for sure. That movie is so good. I mean that that series is so good. So y'all definitely check that out, and it definitely goes back to the point we were just talking about with gender and even race switching in movies and films. But coming back to what we were just talking about, improvising, right? So I feel like a lot of film is improvising. Like I feel like even what we were talking about last week, I can have a plan. Last week I shared looks of like what shot lists and mood lists and everything looks like. Um, but when you get on set, and you could probably like speak to this too, like there's things that just don't always go as planned, you know?
Exactly.
And so you have to know how to just like improvise and like really go for what is needed for the film and also what kind of fits the story best. So I have some examples here coming up. So in the Google Drive folder, it should be something that says channel. I'm gonna reference a film that I shot called Channel 43. And it is gonna be Channel 43. Let's go to the storyboard first.
Channel 43
S-
storyboard.
Storyboard.
Okay.
All right, so y'all, so just giving a little technical look real quick. So a storyboard is basically a film mapped out from beginning to end. It is a visual guideline, just show you all like what is needed. Shout out to John White, who was the director of photography of this short film. My boy John is also one of my day one A1s who kind of got me into film. Shout out to him real quick. Yes, so he helped me make he actually made the storyboard. Let me not take no credit for it. But he made the storyboard based off the shot list that I gave him. Hit this back button on the side right quick. Just the left arrow.
Oh, 1 second.
So this you all I don't know if we could zoom in just a little bit. I want to just show you. So basically a shot list is a guideline which is what I made, which gives a rundown for all the shots of how the film is made. So you
Oh,
break it.
this is a shot list.
This is a shot list. You
Made these feature films.
yeah. So like I
We
have
never
it.
use these, but
So
go ahead.
no,
Educate me.
you got it. All right. So the shot is broken down. I have it numbered down. So shot number. So like when we're calling the shot, you know, with a slate, you call it shot A1 take 2. And here, yeah, let me see. So on set, you will see.
Sorry, I use this for a birthday shoot, so don't mind the words on there.
All good. So like on set, you all for the ones who aren't in film that's interested too. Uh, we have what we call a sleigh, a clapper, which is what this is, right? So the shots are broken down to on the slate. You have like the scenes, uh, and the takes. And so when you get ready to roll a scene, you put the scene number right here and the take because you usually shoot a scene or a take multiple times. So it like on the shot list, what you may see right here, it says shot number. So it'd be like shot A, take 1, uh, and then you clap it. However, so this right here, going back to on the screen, is a breakdown of all the shots for the film that I was working with. So it starts off with a shot of the stove. From there you go to the shot size. And we'll go more into detail about the breaking down and recognizing the different shots and stuff. Well as like notes, so you kind of know what you're seeing and the lens that's used, right? So let's go back to the storyboard real quick. All right, so basically, So basically, based off of the shot list, he took what I wrote and put a visual reference to it. And if we could just scroll down a little bit, so it shows like where they enter in, they're at the stove, and in the film, y'all. Let me just give y'all a tidbit about the film, right?
That's such a
So,
dope film, bro.
I
You did such a
appreciate
great job.
I appreciate you, bro. So the film, y'all, is a psychological thriller. It may be a horror depending on how you look at it. Based off of this couple who turn to this news station and see a police incident occurring, but when watching the film, they don't see, or watching the newscast, they don't see the victim. They see themselves as a victim, and it really plays out from there. So uh in the film, like I shot it where the actor, she turns on the TV, which is what you see right here in the storyboard. She looks at the TV, she sees a newscast, and then from there she sees herself playing she sees herself in the newscast, right? So scroll down a little bit. I'm gonna talk about two scenes real quick, and I'll give y'all a visual reference. So yeah, right here, right. So in the scene that we're seeing in the storyboard at the top, you see where we drew out where the cop comes to uh the car, and then it flashes back to her and her husband. Her husband's like, "Hey babe, what's going on?" And then the newscast cuts on, right? And then it shows him being apprehended by a police officer and the horror in his face, right? So when we shot with me directing it, I wanted to show the scene of the quote unquote police officer going to the car, right? But I wanted to shoot it from like a wide angle to make it look like it was a dashboard cam, right? So we shot it that way, and it came out good. But like for what I was going for, I was like, it could use a little bit more. So this is when I had to improvise on set, right? And so breaking in the scene, like we had it planned out to shoot just like one way with the wide, making it look like a dashboard cam. But what we did to amplify it up was I was like, here, take my cell phone. So we took my cell phone and we turned the camera around and put tape on it
Okay.
and taped it to the actor's chest, right? To make it assimilate a body cam.
Oh, dope. Yes.
And so
That's a great idea.
sometimes like with filmmaking and even working on projects, you have to kind of like improvise. And so I have a clip that I want to show y'all both times. So yeah, let's go back to the drive real quick. So let's show channel 43 clip 1. So what I'm showing you all right now is a clip of what it looked like before we edited it, how it would have just played out. And you just let it play. So like, I don't know if there's any sound or anything on it. But if not, all right, yeah. So basically, like this plays out where it looks like it could have been shot from the car behind. The simulate like a dashboard cam in a car, a patrol car, right? And so the officer, off-duty officer, is going up to the car and he's asking the actor like, "Hey, what's going on?" Right? Like I need you to step out the car, and then he gets forceful with the actor, right? And he pulls him out, but from it's still a good shot. It looks like it's from a dashboard cam, right? And the scene plays out from here. So this is like what you all can kind of see like as a generic of how it was mapped out from the shot list to the storyboard and how we filmed it. But when we got on set, we was like, you know what? Let's amplify it a little bit. So go to clip 2.
But before you move on, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How did you get the sound in that scene?
So we our boom person was in the car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
okay,
our sound person, we had them in the back seat, tucked under, holding the mic like this.
Yes.
And so that way they were able to grab the audio from the person, and we had the windows down too in the back seat.
Okay, so you didn't even have to shoot any Foley. So you got all the little the belt buckle opening, the door opening, the ambiance.
Yeah, all of that. And so
that's a good idea.
they were in the back seat, so we recorded sound that way. But we had them ducked down to where you couldn't see them from the angle we were shooting. So you'll actually be able to hear all the added sounds in the next clip. Go to 43 clip 2, or just clip. And so this is how it played out.
We come to you now live with a breaking report. Video of an unarmed black man being beaten by police after failing to comply with the commands of a local police official. More as this story develops.
Sound for the video.
You failed to come to a police stop. Now you're failing to comply to my
Can you hear
demands.
Oh, can y'all hear it in the comment section?
I'm just going home. I gave you everything that you needed. I'm not getting out of my car, sir.
A little technical.
Sir, if you don't open the car door, I'm gonna open for you.
If y'all can hear
What do you mean you
the
gonna open
video
the
in the
door
comment
for
section,
me?
y'all put it in.
What are you talking about?
It's, yeah, it's
All
not going.
What are you doing? Hey,
So
man.
basically, like you see how this
what are you
looks right here?
doing?
It's cool.
What are you doing?
Rewind it back real quick for me, Yabui. That's cool. So
Beaten by
we have it
police
where,
after
like, the
failing to
newscast
comply
comes
with the
on,
commands of a local police official. More as this story develops.
and it plays out, but then it cuts to
Failed to
what
come to a complete stop.
would seem to
And
be
you're failing
like a
to comply to my
dashboard. Okay,
demands.
y'all can hear it. Phil said he can
Sir, I
hear it.
need
So
to
yeah,
get out of the
so
vehicle.
just
the
going home.
officer's
I
there.
gave you
He's
everything that you needed. I'm not getting
asking
out of
about
my
what's
car,
going
sir.
on, right? But see, this
Sir, if
right
you don't
here
open the
is
car door, I'm
from
gonna open for
the
you.
camera
What do you mean you gonna open the
taped to
door
his
for me?
chest to give that
What are
real
you talking
body
about?
camera
What are you
look,
doing? Hey,
and
man.
it really adds to
Hey,
the
what are you
intensity
doing?
of
What are
the
you
scene.
doing?
I love it.
And like a little yeah, just kind of like bring it into perspective, because I really like in the scene I wanted to bring the audience into like the feel of what was going on, because so in the full scene you see like the actor seeing himself being in this out of body experience where he's really like he thinks he's watching like a news report of a video of an incident that happened, but it's himself. So I really wanted to like frame it in a way that like when us as viewers watching them watch themselves, we can also kind of like get that experience too, to kind of like snatch us in. And so for me, you know, I think that was one example where like improvisation really worked on set. And I'm kind of happy to share that with y'all.
No, you definitely did that, bro. You
Yeah.
definitely conveyed that.
You have any just anything that you could think of, anytime you could think about where you just had to like improvise on the fly?
Every movie, actor doesn't show up. Just everything we have to pivot because you're working on zero budget, so you have to improvise every time. You might be setting up the day before, trying to look at a location. You're gonna shoot there. You think of all the shots in your head. Then the location changes. Something falls through, which always happens in these independent films. You just gotta figure it out. So, yeah, everything that I shoot falls through for the most part. You know, we're not a good prep like you are.
Look,
but
you talking about shooting with budget? I'm shooting with fortunate enough. We work. You just gotta like. We're all at the stage where we have to use the resources we have to
Exactly.
make the art that we want to, and so hey, a lot of times we as filmmakers, man, one movies making is expensive. And so when you can find people who enjoy making movies and making art and content and will do it out of the kindness of their hearts, you just have to make it roll. And I feel like, for us in the stages that we are, we make some incredible stuff on the lowest and to no budget. And so
Shout out to Kalvo, shout out to Yabui, making dope
shout out
on
right?
zero money.
They not like us. They not like us.
Hey, but no, definitely. Like for me, I think like one thing I want to say for people who make film and make content is sometimes you just have to like feel it out and just kind of like go with the flow and make it happen. And sometimes that we learned from tonight's episode, you have to change the roll up a little bit, whether it is color of the skin or the gender or what. And so yeah, we touched on a lot tonight. Or CGI. Uh don't make don't make me an Asian, y'all. If y'all ever make a remake about me, don't make me an Asian.
We could swap roles, bro.
Let's do it.
You could do you can have me doing all the prep work, doing shot lists. They can have you just off the cuff.
Also, let me just say, I have no problems with Asian. I have some of the coolest Asian friends, but because I have squinty eyes, a certain friend of mine always teases me about that. So I just had to put that one out there. You know who you are, and I'm sure you're watching right now for jokes. But no, again, you all, thank you all for tuning in for tonight's episode of the Shot Caller podcast. We've had some fun conversations tonight. Shout out to Amir for coming through and gracing us again with his presence. Y'all be sure to tune in on our page and on our YouTube channel to watch that full exclusive interview because I'm telling you all, man, the man, he dropped so many gems like one after the other. And it was such a great time and he has so much to share and I'm excited to see where life takes him and where life takes you all. And thank you all for again tuning in with us. Yabui, you have any final thoughts before we close it out?
This is what you have. Use what you have. If it comes down to an iPhone, you make films on an iPhone. Just use whatever you said. I mean, Kalvo said it like on the first episode. Just whatever resource you have, whatever you have around you, you can make content. Just do it. Don't start yesterday. Don't start tomorrow. Start right now.
Yes, that is my mantra, y'all. Just do it. And you know what? Stop making excuses, y'all. Because when there's a will, there's a way. And even if there isn't a way, if you trust yourself, have faith, and put it out there to God, things will fall into place. Sometimes you just have to just take that leap. And so for me, I recently read this book by Steve Harvey called Jump, and it's about taking the leap of faith. And so sometimes you all, once you find yourself to the edge, or sometimes just walk to the edge and just jump, and trust that life will take you where you need to go, and the things that you want to do, you will be able to do it. And if so happen by chance you fall, you get back up, dust yourself off, and in the words of the late Ali, you try again.
Exactly.
And this has been our third episode of the Shot Callers podcast. Y'all be sure to tune in next Thursday with us, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and 6 o'clock if you're on the West Coast. But we are signing out. I'm your host, Kalvo, and along with my co-host,
Sean Yabui.
Yabui. They waiting on who next.
y'all be sure to check us out next week.